The Eisenhower Matrix, also known as the Time Management Matrix. It has the power to change your day, your week, even your life. Hi, this is Gary. Welcome to Development That Pays and part 2 of our look at the Eisenhower Matrix. If you missed part 1, it is a matter of great importance and urgency that you go and check it out right now. Click the link right here and you'll be delivered automagically right back to this very point. Orthogonal. That's a nice word, isn't it? The dictionary definition is of or including right angles, semicolon, at right angles. And there's a related meaning. When two things are independent, they are considered to be orthogonal. When it comes to 2x2 matrices, a 2x2 matrix is orthogonal in the sense that the axes are at right angles. But the factors that the two axes represent are not necessarily orthogonal. The matrices that we started with last time are a bit of a mix. For food we had healthy and delicious. Yeah, I'd say those two are independent. For a partner we had intelligent and attractive. And again, I think they are independent. Then there was the one for a car, performance and price. There's a bit of a problem because performance tends to come at a price. The two are not independent. The two are not orthogonal. What about today's main event, the Eisenhower Matrix? Actually, it does pass the orthogonality test. The two axes are independent. If I tell you that a task is important, I've told you nothing about its urgency. If I tell you that a task is urgent, I've told you nothing about its importance. Urgent and important are orthogonal. Urgent and important are independent. But I'm getting ahead of myself. One or two of you mentioned that the Eisenhower Matrix reminded you of Stephen Covey's Time Management Matrix. There's a very good reason for that. They are, in fact, the same. Covey gave each of the quadrants numbers, so let's pop those in. Quadrant 4 is not urgent and not important. Back in my day, the classic example was watching too much TV, something I was very guilty of as a young man. The modern day equivalent is surfing the web or checking Facebook or email or Snapchat or Instagram every 3 minutes. These are activities that we'd be wise, if we can, to avoid. We're actually going to end up with 4 things starting with D. So I'm going to take avoid and swap it for dump it. Quadrant 3 are activities that are urgent but not important. This might include unscheduled interruptions like phone calls. These are things that we should attempt to delegate. Which brings us to the 2 quadrants we focused on last time. Quadrant 1, urgent and important. The boat is sinking, you gotta bail, and you gotta bail now. The D here is do first. And finally, quadrant 2, important and not urgent. When we were on a boat, the act of diving down to attempt to repair the hole was the act which, eventually, saved the day. Dump, delegate, do first. What exciting D word do you think we're going to find behind quadrant number 2? 3, 2, 1, the D is for decide. Decide? Really? Is that it? Yeah, I'm afraid so. Decide when to do it. In other words, schedule it. To me, this hardly does it justice. Perhaps now you can see why I started off this discussion by dragging you off into the middle of the ocean rather than just going through the quadrants one at a time. The words decide and schedule do little to impart the importance of this quadrant. Remember our little chat about the orthogonal nature of these axes? Well, the axes may be independent, but the quadrants are not. In any day, in any week, in any year, you have a fixed amount of time. And the degree of your success will depend largely, perhaps entirely, on how you divide your time between these 4 quadrants. Can we agree that it would be a good thing for you to spend as much of your time as possible on the important? No problem. Stop doing, dump the not urgent and not important, and find a way to delegate the not important and urgent. That on its own is an excellent start. But if you're like most people, you'll find the urgent will overshadow the important and not urgent. And if you think about it, that's hardly surprising. Quadrant 2 items require planning and scheduling. Quadrant 1 items turn up all by themselves, no effort required. And they turn up at the most inopportune moments, like hitting something in the middle of the ocean that punches a hole in your boat. One of the reasons I love the boat mental model is that it carries with it an important message, that the secret to reducing the size of Quadrant 1 often lies in Quadrant 2. But there's something about the boat mental model that isn't perfect. You see, the hole in the boat was unavoidable. And it's true, Quadrant 1 items often are unavoidable. Like when the school calls to tell you that your child is ill and you need to rush out of the office to go and collect her. But this isn't the case for all Quadrant 1 activities. For example, if your website goes down and it's all hands on deck to get it back up again, was that preventable? Maybe not. But is there anything you can do to make it less likely to happen again? Perhaps put some tests in place or more monitoring. Just like with the boat, the cure for the urgency of Quadrant 1 is the planned activity in Quadrant 2. So I'm curious, what are the urgent, annoying, distracting Quadrant 1 things that conspire to fill up your day and rob you of time? And what's the Quadrant 2 activity or activities that you could do to reduce it or even eliminate it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please click to like, share it with your friends, and hit the logo right here for a brand new episode each and every Wednesday. I'll see you next week. Cheers for now.